Hi, everyone. I'm John Boitnott, and welcome to From the Ground Up. We are an interview podcast show put on by Grit Daily, and we talk to entrepreneurs and other leaders and executives about their companies and what they're doing in the world to make a difference. Today, I'm joined by Ruud Zanders of Kipster. Hi, Ruud. How are you?
Hi, thanks. Yeah, fine. Thanks. How are you? Good to meet you.
I'm doing, I'm doing great. Now, you're in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a whole lot in the United States. So, with your company, I'd just like you to tell me all about yourself and your company, Kipster.
Yeah, okay, thanks. From origin, I'm a poultry farmer. So my parents already were poultry farmers. And in the beginning, it was, yeah, large scale. So as big as possible and to produce as cheap as possible, eggs. So we were producing eggs. And after, I think now 10 years ago, I was thinking, I think we have to produce eggs in a complete other way, in a different way, with as reason that we were always looking how can we produce eggs in a cheaper way and maybe in money that's possible, but then somebody else or something else is paying the price for it. Maybe the climate or the biodiversity or the animal itself. So I was thinking it's actually not possible what we are doing. So, and that was for me the reason that I would have a look at, is it possible to produce eggs in a total different way? And that was actually the start of Kipster, that I had a look, is it possible to produce more animal friendly, more people friendly, more environment friendly? So, and that's what we are doing at Kipster.
That's great. Well, tell me, you're describing producing eggs in a totally different way. So I know this has to do with a new type of technology, in ovo technology. Can you tell me
Yeah,
more about your announcement around that?
yeah, but that's only a, a small part of what we are doing at Kipster, but an important part. For every laying hen what's born in the world, there's also a rooster born, so the male one. And the male one doesn't lay eggs. It doesn't grow as fast as the chickens for meat, so the broilers. So actually, we consider it as useless in the world. So that means that are gassed or shredded at day one. Immediately after they are coming out of the egg, we shredder them or we gas them. So, and we think in an ethical way, that's actually, that's quite crazy, but that's about 315 million of roosters every year in the US, only in the US. So we said that's crazy. So, and the same as in Europe. So, and what we did in the Netherlands is that we said, okay, we let them grow and we will make meat from it. So that's what we are doing in the Netherlands. But in the US, we didn't succeed with that because there is no infrastructure for it. The market is difficult, but there is an other technology, and that's that they are looking in the egg before the roosters are hatched, that you can look in the egg is the male or a female. So, and normally the hatch period is 21 days, and you can have a look in the egg at 11 or 12 days, between 8 and 11 days. So, and then if it is a male, you can take out the egg, and then we can avoid that you have to hatch that chicken, that rooster, and that you have to shredder it at day one. So, and that's what we said. That technology is in the Europe. Is it working at this moment, and it's also coming to the US? And we said, okay, and then we commit to this technology that we will avoid that these roosters are born.
That's beautiful. I love hearing that. And it's going to save a lot of, it's going to save a lot of, roosters that would have died. Is that correct?
Yeah, that if everybody's doing that in the US, that saves 350 million chickens a year, which we have to gas or to shredder at day one. And if everybody's doing that in the world, that saves 3.2 billion roosters gassing or shreddering every year.
Well, that's just beautiful. I love to hear that. Well, but as you said, that's just a small part of what Kipster is doing. Tell me about some of the different innovations that Kipster is doing to be a different kind of egg company.
Yeah, the basis from what we are doing at Kipster is that we had a look at our feed, because what we are doing massive in whole the world is that we are feeding them, our birds, we are feeding them good grains and good corn, which we can eat as human beings. And it's always the most efficient to eat it ourselves. So if we are really hungry, we are not going to feed this to animals, but we will eat it ourselves. For example, if you have 1 kilogram of grain, you can feed 10 people with it. But we in the Rich West, we give that 1 kilogram of grain to livestock, and then with an inefficient way, you can feed 2 to 4 people with it. So it's really not efficient what we are doing with livestock. So we had a look at, but what is the role for animals in feeding the world? And actually, it's quite simple. Use all the arable land in the world to produce plant-based food for people. Then we have some land in the world where nothing else is growing than grass. We call it marginal land. You can put a cow or a goat in it, and you can make milk and meat from it. And then we have waste products from the land and waste products for human consumption. And then a pig and a chicken can do something fantastic because they can eat that, and you can make eggs and meat from these products. And that's the base for what we are doing at Kipster. Until now, we are the only one in the world who is doing that we are feeding our chickens as much as possible, up to 80-90%, with things which we cannot or do not want to eat anymore as human beings. And then you have a very efficient system. So that's the basis. And then we said, okay, then we are using all these animals still for our food. Then we think the animal itself is also very important. So can we keep and treat them in the most animal friendly way as possible, so that they have a big indoor garden, that they have outdoor access, that they can scratch, that they are free to walk wherever they want, and a lot of kind of things that we are producing in a commercial way, but in the best way for the animal as we can make. So these are the basis things, and then we have a lot of other things. We are producing our own energy. We are very transparent and open, so everybody can walk in the farm. You don't have to believe me. You can go to the farm and you can walk in. There's a big visitor room. We have 7 cameras that you can see online what we are doing. So we want to be very open and transparent. And the last thing is that we are reducing our carbon footprint as much as possible. So our carbon footprint from our egg is 60 to 70% lower than a traditional egg. And the carbon we cannot avoid, we are offsetting it so that we can make a climate neutral egg. So what's different on Kipster? I can also ask what's not different on Kipster.
Yeah, certainly a new kind of egg company, that's for sure. Where can people in the United States, especially, a lot of the entrepreneurs listening will be listening on Grit Daily in the United States, but also around the world. But where can they find Kipster eggs?
Yeah, in the US, we are collaborating with the supermarket chain Kroger. So you can find them actually across the US in the supermarkets from Kroger. So, and they have a lot of supermarkets, not only Kroger, but also Wells, for example, and a lot of others.
Yeah, I know that Kroger is one of the largest chains as well, and it owns several of the smaller chains. So there's probably a lot that can be reached. Hopefully, you end up in Whole Foods and some of these other, more specialized grocery stores as well in the future here too. Well, is there anything else that I should have asked you that my readers would want to hear about the company or any of the future efforts that you're going to be doing?
I don't know if the people want to hear, but I'm just going to say it. It's also, if everybody wants to produce and to consume what we are doing in the Rich West, then so give all these corn and good grains to livestock, then we need 3 to 3.5 planet to feed the world. So that's not possible. So I really think that we have to reduce our animal-based consumption, and the things what we are eating animal-based, we have to do it in a better way. And I hope that Kipster can be an example how we can produce eggs in a better way for the environment and for the animals. So maybe it sounds a little bit strange, but I'm a poultry farmer who is saying, okay, it's okay if you eat an egg, but not too much, because that's not possible to help to feed the world.
Yeah, for sure. With all the other companies out there that are countries and companies out there that exist that aren't doing it this new way that you're doing, these various, helpful practices that are sort of hopefully the wave of the future. What's it going to take to get them to join in on the action as well? Do you think it's possible they will try some of what you're putting out there?
Yeah, and maybe not all the things that we are doing, but maybe parts of it to start. That's also possible. I think it's now up to us that we show that we have shown in the Netherlands that's an economic way of producing the eggs so that we can earn money. So that's of course our goal, that we can show it in the US that it is possible and you can earn money with it. And then we have to change a lot of things. For example, to make feed for these birds from West products, yeah, that's quite difficult because the infrastructure is not there for it. So we have to rebuild that infrastructure. I'm always saying that's a little bit the same as it was with electric cars. Why is not everybody driving electric? Because the infrastructure is on fossil fuel and not on electric. So, and that's a bit the same with what we are doing. So yes, I think it's really good system and it's a better system than what we are doing now. But the infrastructure is not ready for it. So we have to rebuild that infrastructure, I think.
Well, Ruud Zanders, it's been great to have you on From the Ground Up. I just want to say I appreciate what you are doing out there in your
Yeah,
space.
thanks. Thanks for listening to me.
You got it. Have a great day.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Have a great day too.